What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's that vlog time once again. That's right, this is episode 39 of our Let's Vape vlog series, where we talk about a whole bunch of different stuff affecting me and the channel and the industry and all that good stuff. But I've got a little bit of a special episode today. It's the Vape Mail special day, because I have an absolute crap ton of vape mail. So we're gonna flip-flop things around a little bit here, but I assure you guys we have a very full show. We're gonna start it off with some news and updates, then we're gonna go right into the vape mail segment. After that, we've got some shout-outs to do, and then we're gonna go into what I've been vaping on. After that, we've got a beer segment. Yes, I can't skip the beer segment. And then we're gonna go into some first impressions of said vape mail, and then we're gonna cap it all off with a random review. So with that, go ahead and grab your favorite mod, grab a comfy chair, maybe grab a frosty beverage if you want to, sit back, relax, and let's vape. Alright guys, so the first thing I've got for you in this little news and update segment is the fact that I'm going to UK Vape Expo. I have been planning this for over a month now, and I really haven't made the official announcement, but I will be attending UK Vape Expo in Birmingham, and I really just can't wait to hang out with the guys from Savs and Vape Finder and meet some of you guys out there that may watch my videos over there in the UK. But from what I've been told, this one is the big one. This is the big show where a lot of vendors release new products and stuff like that, so really can't wait to just go and hang out in the UK once again. I know Mike Vapes is going, Bogan is going, and a few other reviewers are going, so I'm definitely looking forward to hanging out with them as well. But yeah, if you guys are going, just leave a comment in the box below. Make sure you say hi and shake my hand, take a picture with me, all that stuff. Really just can't wait just to go over there and check it out. But with that, that is my first official little announcement thing that I've got for you guys. Second is, I've been on YouTube for 4 years. This is my 4-year anniversary on YouTube. It just passed on the 18th, so, you know, just take a second and enjoy this little clip from my first ever video.
What's up, guys? This is Nick for Daily Vape TV, episode 1. Today I'm going to be talking about Sample Box. Thanks for watching my first video. Make sure you check back for episode 2. I'm Nick, and this is Daily Vape TV. Vape on.
Wow, how times have changed. That was sufficiently embarrassing enough for me. Yeah, 4 years on YouTube. It's pretty exciting, so we're going to celebrate. I'm going to wait until after I get back from the UK Vape Expo, just because things are getting a little bit hectic, you know, the planning thing and the packing thing and all that stuff. I just want to have a nice clear head while I go over that and do that sort of giveaway. I'm also planning on doing some sort of like a challenge sort of thing, and I'm leaving it up to the patrons to decide what goes on. And if you want to get in on that for yourself, then just check out my Patreon link right down there in the description. Sign up for $1 or $2, doesn't matter to me whatsoever. As long as you're a patron, you get to decide how I, you know, celebrate 25K subscribers and 4 years on YouTube. Obviously, there will be a giveaway, but yeah, there's going to be other festivities as well. So we've got a bit of advocacy news as well, and it has to do with big tobacco. It's the fact that Philip Morris posted its biggest loss in over a decade. Now, real quick, I'm just going to pop over and read an excerpt from the Wall Street Journal article. It says, shares of tobacco companies tumbled after Philip Morris Inc. said cigarette shipments fell more than expected and sales for its cigarette alternative started to stall in a key market, raising wider alarm about the health of the entire tobacco industry. Now, real quick, I'm going to pause right there and just kind of explain. Obviously, I feel like this is vape related because vaping had something to do with this. I mean, more and more people are vaping every single month, day, year, etc. And obviously that's going to harm big tobacco's overall profit margin. So they're going to come up with ways to kind of enter the vape market as well as come up with their own system to kind of combat this, which would be the heat not burn IQOS system. And that's a big hot topic, very controversial. And honestly, I'm sure we're going to be seeing more and more of that in the coming weeks, months, etc. Shares in the New York listed Switzerland-based tobacco giant ended down 16%. That was its biggest one-day slide since becoming a public company in March 2008. The disappointing first quarter results dragged down shares of other giants like Altria Group Inc., British American Tobacco PLC, and Imperial Brands PLC. Big tobacco has long been under threat from the steady decline of smoking, particularly in the developed world, but in recent years the industry has been able to push through price increases to make up for falling volumes, boosting profits and stock prices. That has enabled big investments aimed at developing smoking alternatives like e-cigarette devices and other gadgets that promise to deliver nicotine but not the more harmful effects that come with tobacco combustion. Now, again, we're going to pause real quick and kind of sideline this in two different directions here. So first of all, big tobacco companies are buying up vape companies left and right, which we've talked about before. They've bought into pod system development and that kind of thing, and basically just kind of took over, rebranded, and re-released it out into the world. And on the other hand, like I mentioned, the IQOS system. So they have their heat not burn tobacco sort of thing, and they also are buying into the vape system world. And with that, they're kind of double dipping in this sort of thing here just to raise their profits. They really are desperate for money, and they're going to do whatever it takes. So just the fact that they're buying into these e-liquid and pod system companies shows me that they feel like they are not only under threat, but also that there's a promise in the world of e-cigarettes and vaping. So that to me is a really good thing. Now, basically the rest of the article goes on about, you know, more specifics of the numbers and how much money they lost, etc., etc. And also the market that they're talking about is mostly in Japan. That is a big time market for their IQOS heat not burn system, and they are just basically talking about how they need to gain popularity in that country, as well as in the different demographics. I think that's a slight win for us vapors. I really feel like we had a hand in that, and we kind of made a big impact on the big tobacco companies out there. And I just want to see it continue to happen. I want them to post losses for every single quarter until they're just out of business altogether. It is my sincere hope that someday, before I die, smoking has been completely eradicated. And with that, you know what? I hate to nag you guys about this, but you got to do your part. You got to stand up for your right to vape. All US vapors right now should be taking not only the flavor survey, but also taking part in the FDA flavor comment section here. We only have about, I think, 60 days left, a little bit less than 60 days, I believe. So make sure you go out there and do your part, guys. We need all the comments we can. We need to make sure everyone is taking part in both, not only the flavor survey, but also the FDA comment period, because it's important. It really is. Links are right down there in the description below. Let's keep pushing hard for that. Last I heard about the flavor survey, I believe it was hovering right around the 21,000 mark, and we need at least 30,000 to even be taken seriously by the FDA. So let's get that done. Keep sharing that link out, keep taking those surveys, and do your part. All right, guys, it's vape mail time. Woohoo! Can't wait to unbox these things because I have been holding on to them all week and I've been itching to open them up. It's finally time. So we're going to do it in order from smallest to largest here. So I'm just going to grab the small one. This one is from Brett from thecloudyvapor.com. So I kind of know what this is. I may or may not have asked him for one, but I wanted to take a look at this. So let's just go ahead and rip it open. All right. Well, yep, just as I suspected. It's the Falcon tank. This is the Horizon Tech Falcon tank. I really wanted to try this out because of the coils. The coils seem really super interesting. They have the wood pulp and cotton. They have the flax fiber and flax paper, and a mesh coil as well. So in here, you actually get the mesh coil and the wood pulp and cotton coil. So yeah, really excited about this one, guys. Can't wait to try this one out. We're actually going to be doing a first impressions at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and just set that aside for right now. But thank you, Brett from thecloudyvapor.com. Really do appreciate it, buddy. Let's go ahead and move on here. The next one we've got, let's just take a look at this one. This is from Atom Vapes, ATOM Vapes. Kind of have an idea about this one as well. So let's get into it here. It's a bag within a bag. Okay, so there's nothing left in there. Okay, yeah, a lot of rippage. Come on, there we go. All right. Atom Vapes. Let's see. I know I saw the email come in from this one. It's the review pack. Look at that. Look at there. That's something different. You don't really see that every day. It's an actual review pack. Oh, wow. This thing looks badass. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. This thing is wild. Oh, dude. This looks super badass. I'm going to throw some coils in this real quick. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that is funky. This is a really funky build deck, you guys. Yeah, you can't see that. Anyways, I'm going to build this off camera real quick, and we're going to vape it by the end of the show here. Give you guys my first impressions. Next up, we have Cloudy collaborations. I actually don't know what this one is, to tell you the truth. I have no clue. So let's just go ahead and open it. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one is also from the cloudyvapor.com. I also asked him for this. Hive RTA from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. Hive RTA, really excited about this one as well. I've seen the pictures of it, and I was super bummed I didn't get a chance to talk to them at National Vape Expo, because I really, really wanted to pick one of these up at the show, but I was so busy at the booth, I didn't even have a chance to get out and walk around on the floor at all. So I've got one now. Thank you once again, Brett, cloudyvapor.com. Make sure you guys check that out. That website is dope, and he's a big time supporter of the channel. So big shout out to you, of course, Brett, for this. What? This thing looks ridiculous. Holy crap. Wow. Tons of airflow, as you would expect from any Cloud Chasers Inc. product, but we'll do our first impressions a little bit later on. I'll probably end up building this one as well off camera, but awesome. Hive RTA, really looking forward to trying that one out. Let's see, the next thing is gonna be, we'll take a look at this one. It's a little bit heavy. It's kind of heavy. This one is from iJoy USA. Again, I kind of know what this one is. Had an inkling. Oh, jeez. They gave me the wrinkliest poster ever, or little package. It's wrinkly and filthy and ripped. Well, you tried. But this is the Avenger kit. We got the Avenger kit. So this is the voice-activated mod. I have been dying to try this one out because it's so weird. It's so weird and so interesting. Chris from Empire Vape Co. has one, and he was talking with it one day, and you can make the lights do crazy stuff and all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out what's next. This one, I have no idea what it is. Blackout Vapors. Nope, no clue. So let's just get into this one. You know what? This one I'm gonna need scissors for. All right, so let's just cut the tape here and here. Don't stab yourself. Don't stab yourself. All right, let's see what we got in here. We have the Reza, I'm assuming Reza because it's resin. Reza Prince tank from Smoke or Smock, depending on what part of the world you live in. And we got the HPriv 2 kit. Now this is from a website. Let me just look up on the email real quick. I want to find this so I can give them a proper shout out. So big shout out to blackoutvapors.com for sending me these. We will be looking at these in just a minute here. And last, but certainly not least, we have the infamous DHL bag. So let's go ahead and get into this one. And I'm gonna, let's tear through the bag. There we go. Well, big yellow taped box. We all know what that means. It means they looked at it in customs. So let's just rip this open real quick with our scissors. Again, remember not to stab yourself. Okay. Lots of packing material. Lots of packing material. Oh, sweet! Mike Vapes. Mike Vapes hooked it up. Dude, Mike Vapes, you are a king amongst men. He sent me a whole slew of his recurve RDAs. So thank you, Mike Vapes. Really do appreciate it, brother. You came through with your promise, and I've really been dying to try this thing out. So he says it's a game changer as far as flavor is concerned, and I'm really looking forward to trying it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go have a build fest and a tank filling fest here real quick while we, you know, go through all of this stuff. But wow, lots of vape mail this week, guys. Really looking forward to the reviews for all this stuff. And let me know what your favorite thing is right down there in the comments box below. So we've reached the point of the show where I shout you guys out. You send in those emails and I'll give you some love right here on my vlog. So all you have to do to get a shout out for yourself is send me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com, and just tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me your vaping story or who you want me to shout out, whether it be you or someone else. And also just let me know if it's okay to say your name. But anyways, guys, we have a special edition today. This is the Vape Stew crew, or Stooges, if you will. These people right here are some of the best people on the planet. I will say that. I've been interacting with them on the Discord server. If you're not already a member of the Vape Stew Crew group on Facebook, then make sure you guys check that out. The link is going to be right down there in the description. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first one up says, "What's going on, Nick? It's James Franklin once again. Just wanted to congratulate you on the 25K and 4 years on YouTube. That's awesome, man, and the 25K is well deserved. Love what you do, man, and keep the great content coming, my friend. You'll always have my support. Hashtag DVTV Cloud Crew, hashtag VapeFam." James Franklin, you have been shouted out, my brother. Thank you so much for all the love and support, continued love and support. Honestly, James has been one of the biggest supporters of my channel, and you know, it was awesome to meet him at ECC. Next one up says, "You are my bread and butter." Get it? Seriously though, your family. One day we shall get together and toast to our success as we open up our 100th nationwide shop, which will carry all Blaz products. Also because beer. Right, that was from Ken, Vaping with Ken. Big shout out to you, Vaping with Ken. Make sure you guys check out his channel. He's really killing it right now with the subscriber count, and I see bright things in his future. Ken, if you're watching this, seriously, dude, I really can't wait to see where your channel goes. Keep on doing what you're doing. I love the gaming content as well. So next up, this one says, "I want to shout out for my stooges, James Franklin, Jorge Cardenas, Zach Brackman, Aziz, Sammy Nitro, and Keith Highgates. Most importantly, my soon-to-be wife, Mrs. Clownette. Without her, I wouldn't have my own business that is thriving." This is from Clown Vapes, aka Jay. Clown, aka Jay, you have been shouted out, my friend. Also, of course, James Franklin, Jorge Cardenas, Zach Brackman, Aziz, Sammy Nitro, Keith Highgates, all you guys are shouted out, of course. Mrs. Clownette, of course, I remembered you. Yes, I remembered you. Don't worry. I got you in there as well. You all have been shouted out. Next up, we have Matthew Carruthers saying, "Thanks for being with us. I'm just poking ya for the name thing because I screwed up his name during my live stream the other day. Sorry about that, brother." Matthew Carruthers, I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm really trying to be better at this, guys, but yeah, I'm really terrible with names. You guys know that by now. Next up, we have Zach Brackman. "You're the man and a supreme stooge. Shout out request to Vapor_Swaggins and Stan Tenacious TX Vapes, aka Dad." Yeah, in the Discord server, he is known as Dad. Love you, brother. Zach, dude, you have been shouted out, of course. Big shout out to Vapor_Swaggins. Shout out to Stan, aka Dad. You guys are killing me, man. I love this stuff. I absolutely do. Next up, we have Ian Carpenter checking in. "Yo, Nick B." Boom. There we go. That's all he wrote in that one. So big shout out to you, Ian. Thank you for writing in. I really do appreciate all the support as always. And last but not least here, we have Connie Fellows. Connie is awesome. She is one of my patrons. She says, "Hey, Nick, you can use my name, lol. Just want to tell you how much I admire you. You're an awesome person. When I talked to you at Showcase Dallas, you seemed apprehensive because you didn't have a huge following yet. Well, look at you now, all 25,000 and growing. It's definitely because of how you come across in your videos, down to earth and excited about educating us. And when I met you in person, you were so easy to talk to. You've inspired me to not only vape for my health, but now I have a new hobby. Thanks so much. I love you like a son and can't wait to see you in person again." Yes, Connie, shout out to you first and foremost. Second of all, I can't wait to hang out with you again. Hopefully this year I'll be able to make it down to the other vape showcase. I believe it's going to be in Houston this year, so I hope you can make it to that one. But with that being said, yeah, we're definitely going to hang out once again. Seriously, all the stooges that wrote in this week, thank you guys all. Really, it means the world to me. Just all the pouring of love and support, and just, it gives me like a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, and just, I can't thank you guys enough. But with that being said, thank you all, and that's all for the shout outs for this time. Make sure if you want to shout out for yourself, all you have to do is just write me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com. Just tell me what your name, your vaping story, a little bit about yourself, who you want me to shout out, that kind of thing, and let me know if it's okay to say your name on camera here. But that about does it for the Vape Stew Crew shout outs. Let's go ahead and keep this moving. All right, you guys, it's time to talk about what setups I've been rocking this week. And first up, we have this one right here. This is the Sigelei Top1 with the vaporesso-cascade tank on top. I really love the juice capacity of this tank, and the performance is great. The pairing is kind of nice as well. It kind of has that nice matte black theme going on here with the lovely little carbon fiber panels on the side. This is something I've been testing out recently, and we're going to be seeing a review on this in the very near future, but with that, we've got Psiquid Smeech inside the tank right now. One of my all-time favorite peach flavors. It's a peach mango smoothie, and oh my god, it's very natural tasting and smooth and delicious and just so great. I can't even say how much I love this stuff. The next setup I've got for you guys is this guy right here. This is the Sanso QIU 200 watt box mod with the hastur-mtl-rta-by-cthulhu mods on top of there. This is something you're going to be seeing tomorrow for the Review Q Tuesday video that got bumped up. Inside the tank, I've got some Lioness Defender. This is a peach lemonade. You guys know me. I love my peach flavors, and this stuff is super duper ridiculous clean. No added sweeteners whatsoever. Really, really good stuff, and that mouth-to-lung experience is definitely doing it for me. Next up, we've got the Wismec RX Gen 3 with the Elite V2 by Armageddon on top of here. You guys most recently saw this in my Fresh Build Friday live video where I vaped this exact coil that's in here at 300 watts. Not the most comfortable vaping experience, I'll be honest with you. I've got it turned down to a mild 150 currently, but this thing is easily vapable all day long at 200 watts, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I kind of turned it down because it was getting to be a little too hot for me, and I like a hot vape. So with that, I've got some jungle juice inside of there, and this is like a fruit medley. It's kind of it's like a pear peach, I think, something like that. I don't know. It's really fruity, really refreshing, really delicious. Mayhem Vapor really knocks it out of the park with it when it comes to their fruity flavors, and I love it. And last but not least, we have the stacked double twisted purge. This thing is a beast. I love series mods. Seriously, I cannot tell you how much I love a series mech, just because the heat factor, the ramp up factor, and just the flavor that you get off of a hot build like this. I'm absolutely digging it. I've got the Recoil Rebel on top of here with some of my Fuse Claptons, which I made for Fresh Build Friday a couple of weeks ago, where we did a live stream once again. And yeah, the flavor on this thing is fantastic. I still have yet to change the cotton out and change the coils. It's still the same exact build. I've been rocking Blaz Peach on there. Of course, the new one from Blaz, my own brand. Make sure you guys check that out. Links are right down there. Wink, wink. Rocking the same exact cotton. This is the same cotton that I built with a couple of weeks ago. I think that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, and it is going great still. So I have to drip this one real quick, but we're gonna have a little bit of a toot here. You know what? I don't usually push my product all that much on my videos, but I gotta say Blaz is one of the cleanest liquids out there on the market. No added sweetener whatsoever. And if you guys want to pick some up, use the coupon code DailyVapeTV for 20% off. You guys know what time it is. My favorite part of the vlog, it's beer o'clock. So once again, I've got some hoppy goodness for you guys. This time it's in the form of Lawson's Finest Liquids Sip of Sunshine IPA. And this one was once again gifted to me by Dan the Beer Man. Big shout out to you, Dan. Really do appreciate all the lovely gifts of these delicious beverages. So if you guys are beer lovers like myself, then make sure you check out the Untapped app on the Google Play Store or App Store, because I'm on there. My username is Vaping Beer Geek, and it's a great way to keep track of what beers you're drinking. You can see what I'm drinking on, I can see what you're drinking on, we could toast each other and all that good stuff. I'm not being sponsored by them or anything like that. I just really do enjoy the app and I like the interaction there. So make sure you check that out. You also get a little sneak preview of what is to come on the vlog. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. We've got the Sip of Sunshine IPA. This is from Lawson's Finest Liquids out of Warren, Vermont, but this one is actually brewed at Two Roads Brewing Company in Stratford, Connecticut. So really close to where I'm at. But with that, let's go ahead and get into this one. This is an 8% ABV double IPA, so let's just go ahead and crack it. love that sound. You guys know I love that sound. We've got our fancy glass here, and this is a lot clearer than I was expecting, honestly. It kind of looks a little bit clearer. I was expecting a little bit more hazy. And as described by Dan the Beer Man, this one is a lawnmower beer. So what that means is this one is really best enjoyed on a hot summer day when you're outside doing some yard work or, you know, pushing that lawnmower around, what have you. But yeah, this is a nice golden amber, very golden, I would say. A little bit on the orangey kind of hue. It looks a little bit darker on camera. You really can't get the true idea of what this one looks like without a nice white background. But with that, very white head on this one, minimal bubbles, but they are there. Nice lacing. It's definitely sticking to the side of the glass for sure. Let's give it a whiff. So real quick, I'm just going to read you guys the flavor profile here. It says, this lupulin-laden India Pale Ale is packed with juicy tropical fruit character, bright floral aromas, and delectable layers of hop flavor. Pour mindfully, inhale deeply, and enjoy a tropical vacation in a glass. Always store cold, enjoy fresh, and stay cool. Right, so let's go ahead and have our first sip. So the first notes of flavor that I get off of this one is not the tropical fruit like I was expecting. It's more of the piney, pithy sort of hoppiness to it. It's got a lot of hops in there, and it definitely has that alcohol bite at the end. It's kind of got some sharp edges on this one. I wasn't really expecting that. I was kind of expecting a little bit smoother with the sort of fruity tropical flavors, but really not getting a lot of that. But it's just one sip. Let's go ahead and have another. So I've had this one sitting in the fridge for a couple of weeks, and I feel like it's a little bit past its prime, so maybe that's why I'm not really getting the notes of flavor and the characteristics that I was expecting out of this one. Again, I'm still just kind of getting that piney, pithy, sort of dry, herbally sort of hop flavor to it. I'm really not getting any tropical fruit. It is very cold. Usually I enjoy IPAs a little bit warmer than this, I'll be perfectly honest, but this one I figured, you know, this would be the perfect kind of super cold sort of IPA that you can enjoy on a hot summer day. But you know what? Let's just kind of let this one warm up a little bit in the hand here before we make any final decisions. So as this one warms up a little bit, I'm starting to get a little bit of that fruit flavor, but it's very heavily masked by a heavy hoppiness and a very sharp alcohol bite at the end. So I feel like this one was really meant to be drank very, very fresh, and I feel like I waited a little bit too long with it, but I think we could salvage it by vaping on something very fruity and very tropical and delicious to kind of brighten it up a little bit. So I think we're going to choose Jungle Juice. Jungle Juice is a very fresh, ripe sort of tropical flavor, and I think it's going to do wonders for the beer. So let's go ahead and load this bad boy up real quick, and we'll give it a shot. Yeah, so I think I hit the nail right on the head with this pairing here, because not only does it take away a little bit of the sharp edges of the alcohol bite, but it adds a layer of that fruity goodness that I was really looking forward to in the beer itself. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad beer overall. I'm not going to say it's a bad beer just because I waited too long to drink it. I just feel like I wish I had the opportunity to drink one of these things super duper fresh so I could really get that fruitiness to it. But let's go ahead and have one more vape on this thing just for good measure. So as my glass is getting a little bit lower here and my hand is starting to warm up the beer, I am getting a little tiny bit more of the fruit notes to this one, but again, they're very much masked in the background of a heavy hoppy note and a heavy aftertaste of that alcohol bite. The pairing was really, really good. I'm happy with that, and I really kind of want to enjoy one of these things fresh with the Jungle Juice from Mayhem Vapor, just because I feel like it will still be a good pairing, even if I get more fruit flavor from the beer. So with that, I'm just going to finish up this glass and we're going to go ahead and move on. Alright, so it's time to give you guys my first impressions on the vape gear that I unboxed earlier. Now, I did take about an hour and just kind of set up every single device we're going to be taking a look at. Had a bunch of vapes on each one of them, and I was talking with the Vape Stew crew in the Discord chat. So with that, yeah, the first one we're going to look at is the Horizon Tech Falcon tank. I've got the mesh coil that was pre-installed in this thing, and I gotta say, first impressions of it, the bubble glass does look a little bit ridiculous. It sticks way out from the edge, and it just just kind of looks weird, but at the end of the day, I could totally appreciate a higher juice capacity. This one is coming in at, I believe, 7 milliliters, which is really, really impressive. So as far as that goes, I'm totally happy with it, and I could stand a little bit of the aesthetic factor taken away for adding that juice capacity and, you know, just convenience. So with that, I've got some Limetime by Psiquid in here. This is a beta tester, and they're releasing this one very soon. It's a lime soda flavor. Super good stuff, guys. So let's go ahead and have a vape on it. So one thing I really like about this mesh coil is it can handle the higher wattage no problem. Right now, I'm on the lower end of the spectrum at 63 watts at 3.18 volts, so I'm sure I could turn this thing up to about 85 or 90 watts and it can handle it no problem. Vapor production is great, flavor production is amazing, and it's just a nice overall sort of tank. I mean, I feel like the mesh coils are going to be a big trend this year. A lot of companies are going to be doing this, and I feel like the Falcon is one of the better ones that I've used so far. So let's go ahead and have one more vape on this one and we'll move on. So next up, I've got the Njord RDA on top of the Sandman mech mod. This is a simple single 18650 mech mod with the very interesting deck here. This is a single coil deck, and it's got like this centralized post system, so is very funky. You guys, this thing is really, really funky. It's very, very airy, and I like the fact that the cap actually locks into place. It has this little nub right here at the bottom, similar to how the drop RDA is. It has that little bump out part, and it locks the cap in place, so your airflow is directed right at your coil every single time you put the cap on, which is great. I love the little bell cap design here. It's very kind of simple looking on the outside, but the inside is all business. I'm not going to lie, this thing is all business when it comes to the build deck. So with that, it came with a coil pre-installed, and that's what I'm using. The juice I'm using today is Lola by Silverback Juice Co. I was a little bit worried with the amount of airflow for a single coil. I was going to get just nothing but air and just kind of a loose hit, but actually it's working really well. It's really kind of meant for each other. You know, it pairs up really nicely with the Sandman in all aspects, except for the fact that the finish does not match. That is just killing me right now. I love the matte black kind of like gun sort of finish to the Njord RDA, and then this Sandman mech mod here has kind of that dreamer sort of Cera coating to it. It's got a texture to it, and it just does not match at all, and that's something that definitely takes a little bit back from the overall design. Let's just go ahead and see how this thing vapes. So the coil that was pre-installed in the Njord has about an inner diameter of probably 4.5 or 5 millimeters, which is absolutely massive. It's a spaced 4-wrap coil. Not sure the exact specs of it. Of course, I'll follow up with you guys in later videos, but with that, it is surprisingly cloudy. You know, I do get a really hell of a good puff off of this thing. It is on the airy side. Even for how cloudy it is, it's still a little bit on the airy side. I could do without one set of these air holes and be totally fine with it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to try to, you know, figure out some builds with this thing, see what I can do with it. It's a very flexible build deck, if you will. It's meant for the vertical coil, but it's just very unique, and I really just look forward to trying something new with this one. Next up, we've got the Hive RTA from Cloud Chasers Inc., and this thing is massive. It's a giant build deck. It's very similar to the Elite V2 from Armageddon, and this thing is 28 millimeters in diameter. It's huge, but one thing that I'm particularly bummed on is they don't give you a clear glass. They only give you this Ultem part at the bottom, and I'm really not an Ultem fan. I could do without it. One thing I really wish they did is throw a clear glass tank in the box, and instead we're stuck with this Ultem. But not a big deal. It's got this honeycomb pattern at the top, which is really, really cool. The little vent fins things going on at the top here, pretty nifty. And it's got two different airflow functions. It's got a wider airflow and a narrower airflow. Right now I'm using the wide open airflow with coils that read 0.08 on this Vupu 2, and I'm rocking it at 110 watts. So let's go ahead and make some clouds. So building and wicking this thing was an absolute breeze, no complaints in that department whatsoever. The flavor that I'm vaping on is Lioness Elixir's Passion, and that's a pomegranate and lychee flavor. I've got some coil style pre-made 5-core fused Claptons in there right now, which are rocking. I gotta say, easily over 100 watts, no problem in an RTA, which is very impressive. So let's go ahead and have one more pull off this thing, and then we'll move on. Next up, we've got Mike Vape's latest creation, the Recurve RDA from Wotofo. This is a single coil banger, real nice flavor RDA, kind of following in the footsteps of the Nudge 22. And I gotta say, shape is very interesting. The build is super duper easy, no complaints about that whatsoever. Airflow, super smooth, and flavor for days. So only slight little minor complaints so far, and that's that the posts themselves are a little bit on the sharp side. The edges are a little bit sharp. I mean, I don't think it's going to break skin or anything like that, but you do have to kind of be careful when you're kind of finagling your coil around. Other than that, the only other complaint I have is that the cap is on the thicker side, so it does get a little bit warm, and the airflow holes are a little bit difficult to line up because it's kind of hard to see through them to actually line up which airflow holes you have open and which you have closed. So other than that, really not a bad little RDA. Let's go ahead and have a puff. So I'm vaping on some Jungle Juice in this setup as well, and I gotta say, this RDA is absolutely doing it justice. The flavor on this one is top notch. I love the fact that you get pre-made coils in it, which I'm rocking in there right now. Beautiful, beautiful coils, which will be available on their own in the very near future. So keep an eye out for Wotofo pre-made coils. From what I've heard, they're gonna be cheap as well, so definitely something to look into. But the coils are absolutely gorgeous. You know, you can fit a decent amount of wicking in there, although it is a little bit on the cramped side. But other than that, so far so good with the Recurve. So next up, we've got the Avenger kit from iJoy. This is the world's first voice-activated mod. You can actually talk to this thing and give it commands. You can change your wattage without even touching any buttons, which is really quite unique, I gotta say. It's kind of unnecessary, if you will, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's pushing the innovation forward for mod technology. 4 or 5 years ago, we would have never even dreamed of having anything like this. So I give a lot of credit to iJoy for pushing that envelope. So first impressions of it, basically, the first thing I have to say is the tip. It comes with a metal drip tip. I already had to swap it out for this DHD bat tip because I can't stand metal tips. You guys know me by now. The voice functions on it are really kind of fun to mess around with. I really haven't done too much playing with it as far as, you know, with the voice commands and whatnot, but you could just tell it, hello, iJoy, and the voice little thing pops up and you could say wattage up, wattage down, power off, that kind of thing. It's really different. You know, it's different. It's unique. It's fun to mess around with, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are hanging out at the vape shop and someone's going to go maximum wattage and it's going to crank it all the way up or something like that. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of pranks played on people that own one of these things, but it's a different style mod. It's kind of a lot like the Diamond kit, if you will, kind of a similar kind of shape and feel to it. It is a bit of a heavy beast. I really like the tank that comes with it, and you can just tell right off the bat that they took so many cues from the Horizon Tech Falcon tank. So many cues. I mean, you could barely even tell the things apart, but, you know, added juice capacity with a little bit of a bubble tank here, which is a little bit more sensible than the Falcon tank. Flavor is excellent on it, and I believe this is also a mesh coil as well, so let's just go ahead and have a vape off this one. So the flavor that I've got rocking in this one right now is Leviathan E-Liquid Fathom. It's a sea salt strawberry mango, which is very unique, very good combination, and I'm absolutely digging it right now. I'm rocking the tank right now at 75 watts, which is kind of on the modest side. I feel like I could push this one a little bit higher, probably up to about the 85-90 mark, and it'll be no problem whatsoever. Flavor is excellent out of this tank, no complaints in that department, and yeah, so far so good. The only thing I have to complain about is that metal tip. And last but certainly not least, we have the HPriv 2 from Smoke with the Reza Prince tank on top. This is the resin version of the V12 Prince. This one was given to me by blackoutvapors.com. Big shout out to you guys as well. So far, this is my first Smoke product that I've ever owned. I've never owned anything else by Smoke except for way back in the day I had a Z-Max. Who remembers the Z-Max? Leave a comment in the box below. But yeah, this is like my first modern Smoke product, or Smoke product if you will. One thing that I noticed right off the bat is how tiny the screen is. This is a screen right up top here, and it's absolutely tiddly. I feel like we're kind of moving backwards. I'm not sure why they went with such a small screen when they have the technology to have these beautiful full-color screens and all that. If this is a budget kit, I'm not exactly sure how much this one costs, but if it is a budget kit, then yeah, it's not bad. You know what? It's a little bit lightweight. It's got the full trigger button like a lot of these Smoke products have nowadays, and it's not a bad little piece of kit. Very plasticky, not rattly at all, which is kind of surprising. No button rattle at all, which is great. The resin on the V12 Prince tank here, you know, it's resin. You know, you're going to see a lot of resin tanks come out as well. We've seen the Fire Luke Mesh, and that comes in a resin version. This one here is kind of following in that kind of path as well. But yeah, you know what? I got to say the V12 Prince tank does have pretty darn good flavor. For all of you people out there that love this tank, I can see why. You know what? This is the Q4 coil on there right now, rocking it at 60 watts. Let's go ahead and have a puff off of this one. So the flavor I've gotten this one is Sandy by Silverback Juice Co., the sponsor of the Vape Stew Show. Big shout out to them once again. And the flavor reproduction on this V12 Prince is excellent. I gotta say, very, very clean flavor. Very happy with it. I love the fact that since you have a resin tank, it has a resin drip tip already built into it. So loving that. The fact that you can't take out the tip is kind of a drawback. You know, some people want their Delrin tips. Maybe you want an Ultem tip. Maybe you want a metal tip. I'm not going to judge you. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm okay with it because it's not metal. If it was metal, then I would definitely have some complaints. But otherwise, I'm totally happy with it. The bubble glass, again, another tank with a bubble glass. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of that this year, and I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. I'm liking these bigger juice capacity tanks without having a massive footprint. All right, guys, it's time for a random review. This time we're going to be looking at Silverback Juice Company's Lola. This is definitely my favorite from their line, and the description reads, an exquisite concoction of ripe strawberries and banana notes infused with dragon fruit extract, the perfect recipe for an all-day vape, and I tend to agree with that. So this one is very ripe and fresh and fruity and delicious, and it's definitely an all-day vape, easily an all-day vape for me. And right now I've got it loaded up in the Njord RDA, so let's go ahead and have a vape. So a lot of times with juices that have more than 2 flavors, it's really hard to pick out individual flavor notes. Now, I feel like on this one, the first thing that touches my tongue is that strawberry flavor, and then you get a lot of the dragon fruit. The kind of overall mouthfeel is a dragon fruit, that like slight creaminess to it, which mixes really, really super well with the little tiny bit of banana that's in there. It's not a runty banana or a candy banana. It's very kind of smooth, creamy, natural tasting banana, almost like a very subtle hint of like banana pudding or something like that, but it's very hidden and in the background. Mostly what I get is the strawberry and the dragon fruit. Those are the most prevalent flavors for me, and I'm really, really enjoying it. You know, I like flavors that don't taste super duper sweet, don't taste super candy-ish, and this is definitely doing it for me, guys. So the banana notes that I was talking about are really on the exhale and the aftertaste. You get a lot of that banana flavor mixed with that heavy dragon fruit, and it just works. The combination is very unique, very different, and it just works at the end of the day. So if you guys want to pick up a bottle for yourself, I'll leave a link right down there in the description below. Don't forget to use the Vape Stew coupon code available if you join the Vape Stew crew group on Facebook. So again, the link will be right down there for that as well. The coupon code does revolve, so it changes all the time, so you're going to have to check up with the most recent coupon code for that. But otherwise, make sure you guys check it out. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about any of the topics that we talked about in this video. Also, make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.
Now, I signed up for the standard package, which is supposed to be 60 mils of juice a month, and I actually got about 85 mils of juice. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me.